Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 233. How Sukuna outsmarted Gojo and always 10 steps ahead from Gojo. Chapter starts with everyone being worried to see Mahoraga. Yuji is still hopeful. He says even if Mahoraga has adapted to infinity, it's still on equal footing with Gojo. Gojo's wounds can be healed soon. We then see highly stressed Shoko, who has smoked a lot of cigars. She says Gojo's healing speed is getting slow. He can use reverse curse techniques since he used red a while ago, but the output is decreasing. And it should be same for Sukuna. Narrator says even if opponent is strongest of all times, the king of curses, everyone thought it was impossible. They thought Gojo might lose. Even Gojo himself thought. So Gojo thinks when was the last time he felt like this? And Toji immediately pops up in his mind. Peter continues that, even though the sign of losing is coming up, something else is swelling up more in Gojo. It's satisfaction, the loneliness that comes from being the strongest. What's filling him up now is... Gojo still gets PTSD from Toji. Gojo quickly punches Mahoraga on its face and pushes it back, making Mahoraga choke. Gojo starts reciting the chants to restore his lowered output, and proceeds to blast Cursed Technique Reversal Red. But Sukuna regains consciousness and activates Megumi's Rabbit Escape technique. Gojo still blasts CTR Red, but it just damages the surrounding and Mahoraga escapes. Gojo realizes that Sukuna is protecting Mahoraga and using it for offense since it adapted to infinity. Sukuna throws a fire extinguisher towards Gojo and blasts it to make a smokescreen. While Mahoraga prepares to attack Gojo from above, Sukuna makes a posture and blasts a technique which Choso recognizes it to be piercing blood. Gojo complains about Sukuna being able to use Shikigami's abilities without even having to summon them. The last attack just now was Water Shoot technique from Max Elephant Shikigami, but in piercing blood way. Just as Gojo defends against Mahoraga, Sukuna's attack lands on Gojo and wounds him. Gojo dodges Mahoraga and realizes that Sukuna is not just supporting Mahoraga, but when it makes his infinity vanish, Sukuna will also attack, so it's like a 2vs1 fight now. Gojo understands the reason Sukuna started using Shikigami cause he got more resources and Mahoraga adapted to infinity. But adapting to red will take more time compared to blue. Sukuna interrupts Gojo thoughts, asking not to misunderstand cause it's not 2vs1 but Sukuna. Sukuna summons a new Shikigami named Chimera Beasta Jido. This seems to be a merge of new and totality. But Sukuna didn't specifically say merge, but just chanted those two names first in the last page, and then summoned this new one. New Shikigami plus Mahoraga and Sukuna versus Gojo Satoru. It's 3 vs 1. Gojo makes fun of Sukuna saying he looks like a lost child with those two giants around. Everyone jumps on Gojo. He evades the new Shikigami and Mahoraga's attacks, but Sukuna pops out of Gojo's shadows and shoots water like piercing blood from Max Elephant ability. But Gojo dodges that too. Gojo arrives behind Mahoraga and blasts red at it, but the damage is weak. Gojo thinks he now has only that to demolish Mahoraga in one shot. The Shiraj is big, and Sukuna will be aware of it. But he says he got no choice but to use an unlimited hollow technique.